Hello, 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 Facebook family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Man, I am a little grainy. I'm having some technical difficulties with my laptop, so we're going to do it off this desktop. And there we go. Please, I apologize for this. Just look real grainy right now. But let me come on here. See, my dad is on. I wasn't expecting you on, but glad to see you on. Very, very grainy. See, Aunt Linda's on, Mother Brenda's on. So had some technical difficulties with the laptop. I don't know. I'm punching keys and nothing's happening. So we had to resort to this, and we'll get it fixed before the next one. Tamika, it's good to see you, Ann. Good to see you on. Um, I'm gonna try to act like I don't. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna try to act like this doesn't bother me, and I hope y'all do the same. I hope y'all do the same. But so welcome, 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 Facebook Live. The title today is 9 for 27 Why Teams Struggle. 9 for 27 Why Teams Struggle. Episode 133. I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm having a good day until now. So I just wanted to shoot some reminders. Shout out to Karen yesterday, or maybe it was the day before. I thought it was yesterday, but and you put out some information about Karen. It was really good. Oh, there you go. Karen walked 120 steps today. So that's awesome. That's awesome. And I know many of you guys have never seen Karen, and you just know her through her name being typed in on here. But she's doing great. I mean, she's doing actually really great. And to be honest with you, I never told Ann this, but I'm scared of hospitals, so I hate going into hospitals. And then I didn't want to go in there and see a different Karen. And when I went in there, I still saw the same Karen. There was little delays here and there, but it was like, okay, she's okay. So I was very happy to see that. So let's continue to pray for Karen. I also want to do a shout out for our youtube.com/Curtis Carr Jr. I'm going to type that in real quick. We're still trying to get more subscriptions. If we can get some people to subscribe, we only have 6. youtube.com/@Curtis Carr Jr. Then we'll post that. So you should get it here any second there. So this is what we need people to do. You go in there and you'll see the logo for Elevate. You'll see the E, an E, lowercase e. And what you'll see is you click on that and then you hit subscribe. And then that'll help us get our numbers up. And we're going to, the challenge is always this. And I hope you guys know this. The challenge is, all right, the dedication between this and then, of course, your full-time job or trying to make that money, And it's very convicting because I'm like, man, we should be further along than this. And I'm definitely going to put more effort into it. So this is our first step. Let's get our subscriptions up and let's tell one person to join us, because if you feel like what we talk about on here is not worth it, then don't invite anybody. But if you feel like this can help somebody, please invite somebody. That's what we're asking. And, you don't have to sit there and be the one that says, well, I don't believe you can help anybody, Kurt. But I get it. But if you feel like it can help somebody, please bring one more person on so we can start getting more people, impacting more people. I don't want it just to be the impact of somebody viewing it on YouTube and viewing some recordings, We want to see, this double. I would love to see next week to have 10 people. By the way, since we're talking about this, how do you guys feel? It is 7 o'clock, April 24th. It's a Wednesday. How you guys feel today? If you guys give me one word, tell me how you feel. It'd be great. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Usually we put a 1 down if you can hear me. We put a 2 down if you cannot hear me. This is a different device. Tamika says she's tired. Man, I've heard so many people say that today. A lot of people are tired today. I think it's the Humpback Wednesday tired. Tamika says she can hear me. Great, great, great. Anybody else? Alex is on. We had a good talk. I'm hoping Alex can come down next week. Just talked to Alex yesterday. Appreciate you getting on, Alex. I know you're busy, man. Alex is be moving. Aunt Linda says she's feeling well and she can hear me. That's great. The title today is 9 for 27. Why teams struggle. And man, my dad says sluggish. I know he got a lot going on. I want to get in this topic so bad. I'm trying to do all the pleasantries first, and I'm trying to hit some of these other housekeeping issues, making sure we go to youtube.com / Curtis Card Jr. and then subscribe. I know Alex asked me a great question, the other day. He was like, man, what do you need, man? And I was like, man, we're always going to need customers. We're always going to need customers for sure. But we also need people just to get on, and if it's not good, it's not good. Move on and get somebody else that you feel like can impact. So I never put pressure on that for people just to be on. I definitely want to make sure that we're impacting people in a grand way. And we have a lot of videos that we put up here, many seminars. We have a quote book that's on this website. We have a book that's coming out later. But the whole goal is to make sure that we impact leaders, And I'm telling you, there's no magic. The stuff that we're sharing on here is in we've done book spotlights, we've done leader spotlights. The stuff that we're sharing on here is what is being used out there in America to be successful. So, and I think that at the end of the day, man, this can really help some people, and we just want to increase the number of people we're impacting week in and week out. So then we also want to talk about, we talked about what is Elevate, Elevate's leadership program, ethics, leadership, expectations, leadership, ethics, vision, attitude, temperaments, and effectiveness. Mother Brenda said all is well. Stephanie's on. Stephanie, if you can hear me, we know the picture's a little grainy. I'm on a different unit, and I had some problems with my laptop. So, but expectations, leadership, ethics, vision, attitude, temperaments, and effectiveness. Usually don't share what we're working on, but we're working with a guy right now who's a tight end for the Raiders, and he's doing some stuff for some nonprofit stuff for kids, and we're trying to get in there right now. I really want to be able to show you guys some video of us in action doing what we do outside of this virtual meeting. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what we're working on right now, and I wanted to share that with you. Another thing is, I want to tell you this story so bad about why the title is called 9 for 27. And why teams struggle. And what I want to do here is I want to kind of set it up for you, and I want to get your thoughts. I'm going to tell you a story. This is a true story. And this is something happened about a week and a half ago. And I want to get your thoughts, and I want you to sit in the seat of the leader and say, hey, this is what I would do if I was the leader dealing with this situation. And it kind of piggybacks on what we did a few weeks ago. And it's always good to have these live examples, these real life examples to try to explain it. So this is the story of why we call it 9 for 27, why teams struggle. So you guys know this is the NBA playoffs is going on. If you guys know about the NBA, who follows the NBA? Anybody follows the NBA? It's the playoffs going on. If you follow the NBA, please put a 1 down. If you follow the NBA. If you don't care about the NBA, put a 2. I can still explain the story and it'll still be relevant to you. But the NBA playoffs is going on. So put a 1 down if you kind of follow the NBA. Put a 2 down if you don't. Either way, you're going to understand this story. It's a powerful story. Oh, Joseph's on. Good to see you, Joseph. Just got off the phone with Joseph too. So, but he probably already knows the 9 for 27 because it's about the NBA. So anyway, this is the story, and this is where I want to get you guys' feedback. There's no wrong answer, but this is the story. So the Miami Heat had a play-in game, and basically they were going to be in the playoffs. The Philadelphia 76ers really had a play-in game. So the Philadelphia 76ers had to play Miami. They played Miami, and they beat them by 1. I'm sorry. Philadelphia 76ers played Miami in the play-in game and beat them. So that means they're in the playoffs now. Miami's still in the playoffs, but in that game, they lost by 1 point. And there was a player named Tyler Hero that shot 9 for 27. So that means he made 9 shots out of 27. So a good number in the NBA is 50%. So if he would have hit 9 for 18, that would have been great. 9 for 17, 9 for 16, anything 50% and above would have been great. But he hit 9 for 27. He was the highest point man in the game. He scored more than anybody else, but he chunked up 27 shots to get the 25 points that he got. So I believe he got 25 points. So he was 9 for 27 from the field. And this is where the story comes. And this is where I want to get you guys' feedback. And this is freaking awesome to me. He gets on the team bus. Jimmy Butler, who plays for Miami, is the team leader of that team. And very vocal guy, very hardworking guy. He kept telling Tyler Hero, man, you shot 9 for 27, man. He says 9 for 27. 9 for 27. And he just kept on saying it over and over again. Tyler Hero, who shot 9 for 27, got frustrated and swung on Jimmy Butler. This is on the team bus. He swings at Jimmy Butler. He misses. What does Jimmy Butler say? 9 for 28. He said, forgive me. He said 9 for 28 now. You know, so they had to break these guys up, and it was a beautiful thing for me as a guy that does these mini seminars, because I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. He got called out by a teammate. But my question for you is, if you're that coach on the bus, what do? You had your leader of the team call out one of your people. It ends up being a fight that never really actually got physical because he missed. But now you got an issue. What would you do? Now, I already said that, hey, he chunked up a lot of shots. This is like his first playoff, I want to say, in like 3 years. He's been hurt the last 2 years, I believe. Those that follow basketball, let me know if I'm wrong. But I think he's missed, 2 years at least. He is a person that is up and coming, but he got called up by a teammate, and his response was to swing. Was Jimmy Butler in the wrong? Was Tyler Hero in the wrong? Were they both in the wrong? I just like to hear you. If you're the coach, what do you say? Or do you just sit back down and don't say anything? That can be an option. Hey, Drinker, it's good to see you. So that's what I want to discuss today is why teams struggle. And I wanted to get you guys' feedback. So just lay it out for you again. A player, Miami Heat, they play the 76ers. They lose by 1 point. When you look at the board and see what the box score, you see that Tyler Hero threw up 27 shots and only made 9. And in basketball, you really want to be at 50%. So he's not. I mean, he's not at 50%. I want to say 33% maybe. And so when they're looking at that box score, they see who performed and who didn't perform. Even though he scored a whole bunch of points more than anybody else, he shot too many times. And one of his teammates called him out. And it got so heated that Tyler Hero swung at Jimmy Butler, who is the teammate that was calling him out, who is the leader, he's the leader of that team. He swung on him and he missed. And then Jimmy Butler looked him in the eye and said, 9 for 28. Because he's like, he wants that dude to wake up, right? So Tamika said, hey, I'll try to get to the root of it. Any other feedback? Before I really want to, I know it's hard to do these on I know everybody's like, I got to, some people probably eat some chicken wings. They got to sit there and lick their fingers and then punch on the keyboard their response. But this right here is the root. This right here, what happened with that team and why that team is made up the way they are and why they're successful most of the time. Miami Heat's a pretty successful franchise. But this right here really points to a bigger problem that you see throughout. the business world, throughout the sports world, any team that's put together. And this is why I really wanted to hit it out. I got one person who gave some feedback. Said I would try to get to the root of the problem. Anybody else? Joseph, I wouldn't say anything. Joseph said, hey, if I'm the coach, I'm just going to turn around and not say anything. That's some people do that. Some people do that. Brenda said, just let it blow over and they will get over it. So big fine and make plans to trade him. Make plans to trade who, Dad? Jimmy Butler, who held him accountable, or Tyler Hero, who shot the 27. Let them have a basketball shootout together. Okay. So the reason I labeled this 9 for 27, why teams struggle, is because this is what you see. And I love live examples because it's hard to make this stuff up and give you these fake scenarios, but this is what happened in real life. And this is what happens and why teams struggle. Tyler Hero gone. Okay. All right. So my thoughts is this. I personally, like I said, there's no wrong answer in this, right? But for one, it's one of the hardest things in the world. And those that have led teams know I'm telling the truth here. It's one of the hardest things in the world to get a leader to hold people accountable on the floor. Coaches just holding people accountable from the bench is not going to make a championship team. We've had several teams get up and they say, okay, why are you successful? And they finally see Shar back there. She's baking cupcakes, y'all. They say, why are you being successful? Because they said, hey, the teammates hold them accountable when they mess up before they even get to the coach. So that's what it takes. So when I heard about Jimmy Butler holding this guy accountable, 9 for 27, and I said, man, that's why that team went into the finals last year, even though they didn't have the talent to be there. That team made it to the finals last year. They lost, but they made it there. They won the Eastern Conference because they have guys that will hold their team members accountable. And that's what doesn't happen on teams that are not successful. They act like the leader is supposed to make it all happen. And leaders, the ones that don't know how to make things happen, think that that's how it's supposed to be. Oh, I'm just supposed to lead this ship and I'm going to get there. It doesn't work that way. You have got to have leaders on the floor. You have got to have leaders on the floor. And one of the most challenging things to do is to get people to lead on the floor. They think that the leading should just come from the bench, and it doesn't work that way. So what I would have did is this. I would have had a meeting with the guys. I'm talking about the whole team. And I would have said, you know what, Jimmy Butler, I appreciate you for holding accountable your teammate. And we need more people to do that. We need more people to hold their team members accountable. And I would applaud the work that team Jimmy Butler did. Now, evidently, they had some kind of plan and they had some kind of design on who was going to shoot all the shots and all that. But once I celebrate him holding his teammates accountable, I would have went around to each member of that team and said, do you understand what I'm looking for? I would say, do you understand what I'm looking for? I need you to say that, Jack. I need you to say that, Joe. Why is Jimmy Butler the only one saying it? I wouldn't have put the emphasis on the swing. I wouldn't have put the emphasis on the fact that they had a heated argument. I would have put the emphasis on why don't we have more people on this team holding each other accountable? Because that's why they're losing. That's why teams lose. So it's that simple, you know. So I would have let Tyler Hero stay unless he's not willing to get back into line and do what we ask him to do. If he's the guy that said, well, I don't care. I hate Jimmy Butler. I hate this Miami Heat team. I want out of here. Okay, well, that's different. But if that's not the case, if he just had a heated response, then I'm fine with it. Because, for one, the way they operate in the NBA is not the way we operate in corporate world. And those cultures of accountability are different based on the industry. So in that industry, that's normal. You'll hear stories about Michael Jordan having fights on the practice floor or Akeem Olajuwon having fights. I mean, this is not weird in this environment. So, but my challenge would have been to the whole team was, why is it only got one guy? We'll never get to where we want to be when only one guy is holding his team member accountable. And that's why teams struggle. I mean, I feel like we can cut the tape now because that's it. That's really it. And they call holding someone accountable, they call that entering the danger zone. That's what they call it. They call it entering the danger zone because nobody wants to do it. And then people just lose and lose and lose. And then once you lose a whole bunch, the first thing that happens is you start making excuses. So feedback on what y'all thought. You think it was crazy, my approach? Let me know. There's no wrong answer on this. Let me know. If you think it was crazy, let me know. You think we should just do what Ann said, let them have a basketball shootout together? Do you think that we need to fire Tyler Hero, trade him? He's on the next bus to Sacramento Kings. Brother Brendan said, just let it blow over and act like nothing happened? Do we do like what Joseph said, don't say anything? Let them kind of manage it themselves? Joseph said he thinks it's a solid approach. My point is that week after week, we talk about coaching conversations. And when you have a losing business or a losing team, it's because the leader hasn't mastered the coaching conversations. He has not mastered them. So that's why they struggle. The team struggles because those situations pop up. They're beautiful. This is what you want. These are the kind of situations you want. So you can slide in and say what you need to say, and they're going to listen like they never listened before. Because Drake said accountability. Exactly. And when we talk about growth, we talk about growth all the time. And I know, and I appreciate Drake saying that, because we said, hey, there's a formula for accountability. There's a formula for growth. That's what we said, a formula for growth. Expectations, accountability, patience, and affirmation. The one that everybody struggles with, hands down, is accountability. That's the one. It's easy to say these are the expectations. It's easy to be patient for some people and wait to see if the expectations get accomplished. It's easy to give affirmation and say, oh, great job. That's exactly what I was looking for. But who's the one holding people accountable? Who's that person? Right? Ed said, but it needs to be positive feedback, not just criticize their teammates. They need to see what each team member can do to improve their scores. True. And when you say positive, I agree and disagree, because I don't think what I said was negative. I would say, hey, why am I only hearing from one person? Why is that? Why am I only hearing from one person? And I'm not expecting an answer, actually, but they need to get it. The coach can't play the game. The coach can't get out there and play the game. You have to have accountability amongst team members. I promise you, I can walk into any business and I'll sit there and listen to the way those team members interact. And I can tell you if that's a successful business or not. Because the ones that are not successful don't hold each other accountable. Or the ones that are not successful don't even have a team member on the floor that says anything. Everything's the main guy trying to carry all this weight. And it doesn't work like that. You know, one of our best examples of it doesn't work like that is single parenting. It doesn't work when the one person is holding everybody accountable. If you have multiple kids, you want to do the same thing with the multiple kids, right? You want to start getting that big brother or big sister to start holding some people accountable. It can't just be one person. And that's my point. And that's what you see in companies. You got this one person, or organizations, you have this one person. And everybody knows there's a hammer or there's a softie, but there's only one person. And there's no accountability. And when there's no accountability, you have low-performing companies. One thing that Ann triggered something in me, but I'm not going to chase it right now. But entering into the danger, that's what they call it, when people hold somebody accountable. And there's two reasons, and I know it's 7:26 pretty quick, is people don't want to hold people accountable because, one, they're selfish. And when I say it's selfish, I'm saying they refuse to change. Oh, I don't want to do that. Well, that's selfish. I thought you should do anything you want to get that team to win, right? Or they'll say, oh, I'm not comfortable doing that. Well, nobody's comfortable doing it. Or they'll say, I used to do that, but somebody responded a certain way, so I don't like to do that no more. Still selfish. The number two reason is because they don't want to be the one get held accountable, because they know that once they call somebody out, now they're going to be expected to perform at a higher level. So instead of having that pressure on them, I just won't say anything. Those are the top two reasons why people don't do it. So at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It says, Drake has said, you also have to understand each person's strengths and weaknesses, understand levels of capacity for each. And that's right in line with what we talk about. I don't know if Drake was on that call, but we have a thing called hope cards. And hope cards is the way that you have coaching conversations. The H for hope is holistic. The O is optimistic. The P is purposeful. The E is enhancing. So when you're having these conversations, that's what you're looking for. Is it holistic? Do you know what's going on? Do you know that player? You know, do you know the ins and outs of what's going on, not in the situation, but the people involved? Is it optimistic in tone? You know, I'm not talking about a beatdown. Like we had a situation here. I know it's 7:28. We had a situation with Kai, AAU team. A parent went over to the coaching area, and he was coaching the team. The coach of the AAU team was kind of passive, so he was letting this parent coach the team, and he was cussing out the players. Complaints got lodged, and he was told, boy, you better get your butt back over in the parents' area. But he just was cussing at these little 13-year-olds, you know. So we're saying optimistic in tone. It doesn't need to be a verbal beatdown. And then it needs to be purposeful. What is it that you're trying to accomplish in this conversation? And then it needs to be enhancing. After it's all over again, everybody needs to be like, I get it. I get it. So my dad put on there, if I'm Butler, I want there to be some accountability for violence toward the leader of the team. What message are you sending by coaches ignoring the situation? True. And this is just me. I don't have more information, but and this is something that you guys might not agree with. But I know for a fact that every industry doesn't have the same kind of culture. You know, it just doesn't. Accountability looks different in the game. You know, but they do things to make sure their team is cohesive. Accountability looks different in a Fortune 5 or Fortune 50 company. It looks different on a football team. You know, it's just different. I know that I've heard a lot of stories about NBA players having fights. So, I mean, I just know that I don't want to be the guy that tries to paint this thing vanilla, like everybody's going to have this clean response. Joe, I don't appreciate you swinging at me like that. Well, Jack, you shouldn't have said 9 for 27. It doesn't work like that. The main thing is that there's accountability. If there's accountability, the problem is that there's not accountability in a lot of teams, and that's what happens. My internet, I will review the video later. Thanks, Unlimited. So that's what we talked about today. 9 for 27, why teams struggle, because you can't find anybody to hold anybody accountable. And then everybody runs from it because either for selfish reasons or they don't want to be held accountable for what they're holding other people accountable. So they don't want that pressure on them. So nobody holds anybody accountable, and they all look at this one guy to fix everything. And then that's why the teams never maximize and become great. That's the whole thing. Because at the end of the day, our job is, whether it's a nonprofit or whether it's a for-profit, is to increase revenue, to increase profitability, to increase customer acquisition, and to increase customer retention. You know, if it's a nonprofit, and it's the same thing. It's those four things: to increase revenue, to increase profitability, to increase customer acquisition, and to increase customer retention. So that's the show right there. So let me know if you got anything out of that. I hope it wasn't overly simple, but I'm telling you, the accountability piece is lacking. You'll hear it all over. I talk to leaders all the time, and when I hear them talk about their problems, I see people that don't hold people accountable. So what happened after they said that? That's what I say. I say, what happened after they said that? Nothing. Oh, okay. You know, that's the question. So every time I hear something, okay, so what did you say when they said that? Or what did you do when they did that? That's always my question. And most of the time they don't do nothing. And then they wonder why their team is not growing. And then somebody that's a great leader will come back and they will say something and they'll use that coaching opportunity and maximize it. And they'll take that same team that was failing, and they'll win with them. And people will make excuses on why they're winning. Well, they're winning because, the city's growing. Oh, it just started growing the month that they took over? Or, they're winning because of this, they hold people accountable, and they do it the right way, where it's a growth moment instead of a beatdown. So thank you, Ann. I really appreciate it. One last thing I wanted to say. I know it's 7:32 and I'm gonna get out of here. Next week we'll be on, but the week after that, the 8th, we will not be on. We're celebrating Char's birthday. We're going on a little vacation. So May 1st, this next Wednesday, we will be on. May 8th, and I'll send something out through Canva or on the social media to let you guys know, just a reminder. But May 8th, we're celebrating her birthday. I think she's like 60 or something like that. Don't tell her I said that, but we're going to celebrate her birthday, and really looking forward to it. So May 1st, next week, we'll be on. Thank you guys for coming on. Please invite one person. Please invite one person to come on, and so we can blow this thing up. So we had 8 today. We still have 6 people that have subscribed. So if you have not went, thanks, Alex. Really appreciate it. If we have not gone to youtube.com/@ Curtis Carr Jr. to subscribe, please go on there. You need a timeout. So anyway, no, she's going to be 52. She's a little younger than me. She's going to be 52. And, she works her butt off, man. She works her butt off. She's in there doing these cupcakes, and after that, she'll do something else, but she's working her butt off. And just like that, she needs help. And we have these conversations because about accountability, because most of the time with her, it's the same thing. It's about accountability. So 7:34, I'm way over. You guys have a great one. Be intentional, focus on growth, and elevate now. Please, really appreciate you coming on. People that normally I don't see, thank you for coming on. And please, if you can get one person on. You guys have a great one. Thanks a lot.